Team PCD KP here with a 3rd place and 5th place Raidraptor top at the theSideDeck regional that just happened this weekend. Me and Gaurav worked together on this list, and unfortunately we had to play first round in the tournament, so I ended up winning, but then Gaurav won out the rest of the tournament. He finished 5th. I lost 1 round to Voiceless. I lost a dice roll, and game 1 I had no hand traps. Game 2 I won through a draw, and then game 3 he just had way too much for me to deal with. So unfortunately I lost that, and Gaurav only lost to me in the mirror match. So it was a great showing for the deck this weekend, and I'll go ahead and get into it. I'll also explain the changes in Gaurav's list compared to mine. First, for hand traps, 3 effect Veiler, 3 draw, 3 ash, 3 nib, 3 imperm. We wanted to play as many hand traps as possible. After doing more testing, we realized that Board Breakers just doesn't seem to work against the Fire King Snake Eye deck, and that's like the best deck to worry about. Everything else that we could play against, all these hand traps probably can take care of, but that deck's the most important deck to be prepared for in this format, and hand traps just seem to be better, just be able to stop them from getting where they need to be. Nib plus an Imperm or Veiler can pretty much break any board in the game on their turn. So me and Gaurav finally agreed to play the Nib in the main along with the Veilers and Imperms. Nib can conflict when it's on your field with some of the Raidraptor extenders, but it doesn't hurt all of the extenders. So you just have to play it a little bit differently, or you can summon the token in attack position if it's big enough and just crash the Nib if you need to. But that's it for the hand traps. For the Raidraptor monsters, 1 pain, 1 heal, 2 noir to search those. We cut down on noir because of a different card. 2 mimicry. Gaurav played 1, and it's also to make room for another card in a second. But I just wanted to be safe and play 2, just to be safe. If I was to draw 1, I still like to send 1 if I can, like if I have a better normal summon. But in this build, it's fine to play either 1 or 2. I just decided to stay on 2. The new card that we're playing is we're running 3 Raiders Wing. With the deck getting more popular, we figure that we're going to have more protection from hand traps at the right places, and Raiders Wing protects your whole XD combo because while it's attached, it can't be targeted. So you can make Raiders Night with it and then go through Brave and Arsenal, and all those plays cannot be Veilered or Impermed because of the Raiders Wing. Another benefit is that if you are going second, you can summon this and then make a Raiders Night, and then your opponent can't Princess target it, there's just various things in the game that they wouldn't be able to target it with, so that's pretty good protection, and it just makes your combos better. So Gaurav and I were thinking about that, but also shout out to James, he thought it was a good idea too. For the Raidraptor extenders, 3 Bloom, 3 Fuzzy. Since it's pure Raidraptor, we can play Fuzzy. It's just really broken. And then 3 Strangle. And then for the main 1-card combo, this is 1-card full combo if they don't have an interruption. Tribute Lanius is very important. For the non-Raidraptor extender, Samorg, it's just great that it's a normal summon, not a special summon. So going second, you can kind of play around Princess, since Princess only triggers when you special summon. For spells, 1 Flush Burial. This is a 1-card combo as well, so that's another 1-card starter in the deck. And the 2 Rank Ups and Roost. And then 1 copy of the Trap. This just kind of seals the deal. You have 3 towers and 1 blows up their field, and then you also have a negate. It's usually enough to win. And you sometimes have hand traps as well left over, so you can combo and have hand traps to beat your opponent. For the extra deck, 3-4 Strix. We go through 3 pretty often on our first turn, if we're not under draw, obviously. 2 Raiders Knight. It's good to have one for a follow-up. There's some weird game states where you get hand trapped a lot and they stop you, and then you hand trap them a lot and stop them, and then on your following turn you make another one. So one other change between our list, I was playing one Baguska. The main idea is that if you have like some Morg and a normal summon, you can make this if you've been shiftered. Against the shifter decks, Baguska is pretty strong. It never came up, like I never was in a situation where I needed it, so it wasn't like a big deal. But Gaurav was playing Evil Swarm Nightmare. I was planning on playing that card, but I couldn't get one in time, so I just threw in a rank 4 that might be decent, but it never came up. Brave Strix, just part of the combo. It's okay to play one because you can put it back with Roost if it gets banished by a DD Crow or something. Arc Rebellion, it's a really good card for going for game. Basically, you make it really big and attack for over 8,000. It gains the attack equal to all the original attacks on the field. So you don't get to gain off of a nib token, and you don't get to gain extra for like the whale link 4 fire that people are summoning, because it gains for every link in the grave. So situations like that, it's not as good, but there's still situations where you can just OTK with it. Another cool thing is this can't be destroyed by card effects, and if you have Raider's Wing under, it can't be targeted. So that kind of can help take people out if you can have that combination together. One Arsenal Falcon for the combo, and the cool thing is Rising Rebellion can add its effects to itself, to where you can also detach special another Raidraptor from deck, so that's pretty good. Satellite for weird situations, because it's a 8 and this is a 5, so these two can make the new rank 13. Also, if they like DD Crow or banish the Brave Strix when you activate your rank up spell, you can still use your 2 rank 4s to make this. One Ultimate Falcon for the combos. It's really good because on your turn you can detach, and for the rest of the turn your opponent can't activate cards or effects. So going second, if you can get to this, you can just turn everything off and then blow up their whole board without having to worry about the Fire Kings triggering or anything like that. 2 Rising Rebellion. In our combo, we usually end on 2 on our board, and then we summon the other one to blow up their field, and it has Brave under it to where it's 5,300 attack. So we got 35, 4,000, and 5,300 towers. So that's a lot for people to deal with. And then 2 Wise Tricks. We cut the 3rd for the Evil Swarm Nightmare or the Baguska. For the side deck, one thing that Gaurav and I would both mention is the side deck is really not that important in this deck. The main engine for going first is supposed to win by itself, and then we play 15 hand traps. That helps us win going second. Against back row decks, you're going to want to have back row removal, but against like the top 3 decks, your main deck should cover it. We were wanting to play 2 Delta, Gamma, and a Driver, but we weren't able to get them in time. So I still played Gamma and Driver, but Gaurav played something else. Gaurav found 1 Soul Release in bulk at a store this week, and he didn't want to play it as a 1-of, but he asked if I would play it as a 1-of, and I said sure. So I threw it in my deck. It did come up in 1 duel against a branded player. I won the die roll, so going first, I did my whole combo, and he scooped without revealing what deck he was playing. He was undefeated, so I thought maybe he was playing a Fire King deck, so I put Soul Release in, and he was playing branded with the Puppet Lock, and he had almost everything. Like, he technically had everything set up on the field, like, or set to where he could do the Puppet Lock on my turn, but he didn't have it at like my draw or standby phase. So in the main phase, I shotgun Soul Release, banished his whole graveyard because he only had 4, and I got rid of the puppet, so that wasn't bad in that situation. One Thrust, 1 Talents. These are really good going first or second. Going first, you can set the trap or the imperm, or if they Nibiru you, you can add Foolish Burial, which can get you basically any card you need. Talents when you go first. if you play through the first hand trap, you can look at their hand to see if they have any other hand traps to worry about to make your play safer. Or if you don't have enough extenders, you could draw into them. A lot of this deck can just summon from hand, so drawing extenders in this deck is really good. Going second, you can bait an IP to see if they summon Appaloosa and then take it. But a lot of people were being safe and not doing that, which makes the Raidraptor deck easier to break through boards, because if they make an Appaloosa that has like 3 negates and they got Princess and other things on lock, that can be almost unwinnable for Raidraptor, because almost every effect is like, it's like once per, like you start like a new chain every time you want to activate a Raidraptor effect, except for like Weistrix plays. So if you activate Bloom and they negate it with Appaloosa, and then you normal summon and activate and they negate with Appaloosa, like they're just stopping everything. So people were playing around this by not summoning Appaloosa, so that was to our benefit. But yeah, going second, you can take something good or look at their hand, whatever you need to do. We usually take out the Roost and the Trap for these when we're going second, because although these are really good cards, going second against the best decks, you need something that's gonna be more impactful immediately. These like help you before you start comboing. For the rest of the side, 1 called by, 3 crossouts. Since we play 15 hand traps, we just basically take out some of the extra cards, put in the crossouts and called by, just to make it easier to play through our opponent's hands if they have hand traps or whatever while we're going first. One thing that Gaurav and I will do is we'll assess the situation. If we get ashed or veilered or nibbed or whatever, we might not even activate a crossout if we think we can already play through the hand trap, just in case they have a second or third hand trap that could be detrimental to us. So there's even games where Gaurav told me that he played through the 2 hand traps and ended up just never using Designator, to where he set it, and then on his opponent's turn they activated a called by and he chained and called to the called by to negate it. So that's how cocky I guess we are with this card, is that we don't even have to use it, so it doesn't usually come up, but it's just good to have extra layers of protection just in case. 2 Cosmic and a Feather. Cosmic's good this format because you can banish the Fire King field spell and blow up their field. I did that once and it still didn't win me the game, so like board breakers just really aren't that great right now. It's better to hand trap them and never let them get to their board, because if you like droll a Fire King player, they're probably not going to get to the field spell anyway, or their Fire King engine, so it's just, you might not even need these cards. And then the last card is 3 Evenly, and as I said, against back row decks, all 6 of these cards are very good, and we have Ash if it's like a Labyrinth deck or something, so we still need back row removal, so it's not like we should take them out completely. It's just, it's not going to be used for like the main decks, because the Snake Eye decks don't really lose to these cards that well. It's better to just hand trap them. But all in all, it was a great event. Me and Gaurav were coming into this event well prepared, especially like he is the main one that was making sure we were prepared, and we were really hoping to win the event, but it just was really unfortunate that round 1 we had to play each other, and then I ended up losing. So it was like, maybe it would have been better if Gaurav would have won that match versus me, to where maybe he would have gone undefeated. But either way, it was a great showing for both of us, because we knew the rest of the tournament that we didn't have to worry about playing each other again. So as long as we just won out, then we would still do good. And we stayed in there, especially Gaurav after losing the first round. He stayed in there and he beat everybody. So it was a great showing for both of us and a great showing for the Raidraptor deck. I guess I'll go ahead and go to shoutouts. Shout out to my wife. We've been married for 5 months now, together for 8 years. So she's my biggest shout out for sure. Shout out to my friend Raul. Shout out to Gaurav again, just because him and I have been working on this deck for months, and us both getting top 8, and especially that I got top 4 and we're playing the same list. it's pretty nice. Oh, I will make one more statement. Our side decks are a lot different. Like some of the main things, like the crossouts, evenlies are the same. But anyway, shout out to Gaurav. We've been working on this deck for a long time, and he got 13th last weekend. We got back in the lab, made some updates, some changes, got better, and we came back with an even better showing. So that's just what we got to keep doing, is just keep working on it and keep getting better. Shout out to Team PCD. Shout out to James. He really liked the idea of playing multiple Raiders wing. Shout out to Javi. He bought a case when the set was first releasing for sneak peek, and we were able to get 2 play sets for Gaurav and I of all the Raidraptor cards immediately, so that was really nice. So we've been able to play with the deck in real life for a while now. Shout out the Raidraptor group. They're always asking for the list and asking if we're making any updates. Other than that, I think that pretty much wraps it up. If you guys would like to subscribe, if we hit 700, we're going to post some combo videos and interactions on like where to hand trap, and maybe even some Raidraptor mirrors. So if you'd like to see all of that, just start hitting the sub. All right, thank you. Bye.